Today we're working on a 2004 Chevy 2500 Duramax. This one's got the LLY in it. And we're going to do the lower oil pan because it's leaking. It's actually constantly dripping while sitting. So first thing you need to do is drain the oil out of it. I already got that done. And then put it on jack stands, not just a jack, but jack stands to get it in there a little bit higher. And then you need to take this shield down right here. It's got 4 bolts that are all 15 millimeters. So we're going to take that down right now. Next thing we need to do is take this brace off. That's right under the oil pan. It's got 2 bolts here, which are 18 millimeter. 2 bolts here that are 18 millimeter. So we're going to take those 4 bolts off, get this whole thing out of the way, and then we should be able to get the oil pan off. All right, I got that bar out of the way. You can see it was right there. So now on the oil pan, you got all these 10 millimeter bolts all the way around it, and you have this connector that you have to disconnect. It's just normal connector with a wire clip. And that's it. Just got that little wire clip you push in and pull off. And I'm gonna put the drain plug back in just because. Take all those bolts off. I'm not sure how many there are. I'll count them as I take them off and update on the next part of the video. All right, so I had 15 bolts, 10 millimeters, like I said, and 2 nuts that were both also 10 millimeters. And the one nut was actually very loose, and that's probably why it was leaking. I probably could have just tightened it up, but I'm gonna do the right thing and pull the oil pan off anyway and seal it up because it looks like it has smaller leaks anyway. So we're just gonna do it the correct way. And oil pan is stuck on there because of RTV. So we're gonna take a small, very small flathead screwdriver and try to get between the lower oil pan and the upper oil pan to get it broken loose and pull it down. All right, so I got the oil pan off, cleaned all the RTV off of it and the engine, and put new RTV on and bolted the oil pan on, and I let it sit overnight with no oil in it so the RTV could dry. And obviously you can see I still need to clean off the outside of the oil pan. I'm going to spray that down with brake clean now and then start putting it back together the rest of the way. And just FYI, when you're putting the oil pan back on, it has to be rotated. I think I had to rotate it this way towards the front of the truck, the plug towards the front, and put it around the pickup tube and then rotate it back. It wouldn't go around the pickup tube without me rotating it first. And so just go slow, be careful so you don't mess up your RTV bead that you laid down. And then after that, get it on there, get a few bolts started. I started the nuts first since they have studs obviously, and then start a few bolts and let it hang by itself, then put the rest of the bolts in, then tighten it down. And the bolts obviously need to be a little more than hand tight. They don't need to be super tight. They're very small. Do not break them off.